Most visitors to Sewerby Hall are quite unaware that hidden from view, below the turf, is an archaeological feature of national significance. Just 30 centimetres below the ground surface lie the remains of a pagan Anglian cemetery dating from the mid-6th century through to the mid-7th. Originating in southern Denmark and Schleswig-Holstein in northern Germany, the Angles were settlers who came to Britain amidst the chaos that followed the withdrawal of the Romans in the 5th century. It is from them that we get the Anglo in Anglo Saxon, as well as the name England or Angleland. 59 graves were found when the cemetery was excavated, but one grave, that of a young woman aged between 17 and 25, was particularly notable for its wealth. She had been buried lying on her back in a wooden coffin, one of only a few in the cemetery. She wore a cloak secured by a large gilt brooch over a tunic fastened at the wrists by gilded clasps and at each shoulder by bronze brooches with beads strung between them. She had more beads round her neck, and over 200 beads made of amber from the Baltic, glass from Turkey, and crystal were found in the grave. From her belt hung 2 imitation keys called girdle hangers. These may have symbolised the role of well-born women as the keeper of keys to boxes and chests. As a pagan, she was buried alongside items she would need in the next life: a bronze cauldron, a knife, some meat, a small box made of wood and shale, and perhaps a purse. However, somewhat macabrely, about 30 centimetres above this burial, but in the same grave, was a second female burial. This woman was older, perhaps between 35 and 45. She was buried face down, with a broken fragment of quernstone on her hip. Her posture suggests that she may have been buried alive and that her death was violent. Although she had no grave goods to accompany her to the afterlife, she wore clothes fastened by brooches, a necklace of amber and glass, and she too had a knife, as well as an object thought to be a spindle whorl. Who she was, how she died, and why her body had been treated in this way is not known. She may have been a slave or a servant sacrificed to accompany the young woman below her. She may have been a criminal or condemned witch buried alive as a punishment. The presence of the Anglians buried in the Sewerby cemetery is a reminder of the long history of the Sewerby Hall estate, a history far older than the house and parkland landscape we see today. And although these men and women were not the first people to live in the area, they were almost certainly among the first of the English to call it home.